going to do a confessions, Reddit confessions. I usually do these over on Patreon, but because some of them can be a little over the top, but we'll see what we have on Reddit today for confessions. I'm going to pop in some gum, and you know the drill, you know the deal. We have to do some channel maintenance, some channel hygiene. Channels are Neopets, Tamagotchis, houseplants. So if you're new here, welcome to my nonsense. If you're old here, welcome back. Oh geez, if you're new here, please consider hitting subscribe, and if you're old here, go double check. Make sure you're subscribed. Hit the like if you like. Leave a comment. It could be anything related to the video. It could just be a hello, a few emojis, anything as long as cool and friendly. Hit the notification bell. As always, I will link my tip jars down yonder in the description box. No pressure whatsoever, but every $1 or $2 helps. That's what allows me to continue making content. Also, you are invited to my Patreon. The link will be down below. I know not everybody can come, but you can't say you weren't invited. Okay. Pop some gum in. Now, I think that maybe 3/4 of these confessions have some truth to them, and sometimes I think people just come on here to, like, lie. Because they're pathological, right? But this is the Reddit, the subreddit confessions. Get that nasty secret off your chest, or simply use this as a place to vent. See the unfiltered opinions of strangers. Okay, let's check this one out. A woman asked me to buy her groceries. I accepted, and then I ran away from her. I was at a train station and had to pick up my sister at the airport, already slightly late. I had 20 minutes before catching the train to go to her. The next one would have been 40 minutes later. While waiting, I was approached by a woman, 25 to 30 years old, with her little daughter. She asked me to buy some groceries for her so that she and her daughter could eat. I tried to give her money, but she insisted that I accompanied her instead. That should have been the end of it. I can't. Here's 20. You're not insisting. Nobody's insisting upon anything charity-wise. It's weird. So I agreed, but I explicitly told her that it couldn't take more than 15 minutes because of the train, and she accepted. I regretted it almost instantly. She took a cart and started basically ransacking the supermarket. Oh, that's because she wanted to get like a ton of, taking in, apart from lots of the normal groceries, pans, pots, glasses, 4 packs of Red Bull, lots of junk food, and so on. I roughly counted the expenses. After a good 10 minutes, it was going to amount to over $200. Furthermore, at the 13 minutes count, she was still taking her time with no end in sight. I hate to say it, but that kid is not in good care. This lady is ratch AF. Stressed out at the thought of missing my train, having a public confrontation, and being unpolite to someone in difficulty, I just ran away. I don't know whether I should, but months later I still think and feel bad about it. I feel bad for the kid. There is good reason, I can just tell by this little interaction, there's good reason why this woman does not have her life together. And friends. Someone said, she was scamming you. So no, you are a bit naive. She is totally 1000% in the wrong, and she tried to use her child to emotionally blackmail a stranger. What a lowlife. This poor kid, like, that's what I keep going back to. This poor kid, and there's a good chance she's going to turn this child into her. I actually had the opposite situation the other day. Someone asking me to give them money, but I said I would only buy them food rather than giving them money. You're not the a-hole, though. You told her you need to go quickly, and it sounds like she was massively taking advantage of your generosity. If you feel bad about it, give a small donation to a charity or to a homeless person. Here's the thing. I will give money or food sometimes. And when I give money, I do not care what it goes to. I don't. If it goes to a meal and that's what that person needs to get by to get through the day, cool. And if they go get high and that's what gets them through the day, also cool. Don't care. But I would be like, if their sign says they need food and then I offer food and they don't want to take it, I'd be like, well, change your sign, bud. She was not a nice person to do such a thing to you in the first place. If the bee was genuine, she would have had a heart and only taken the food she needed. She was a scam artist and a con woman to do such a thing. Oh yeah, she's got this down. She's got this down. Let's read this little sub-story. During the winter, my hubs and I were playing Pokemon Go. We were sitting in a parking lot after taking a tower. I don't know what taking a tower means, but if you play Pokemon Go, you might know. We called her over and asked if she needed a ride. Wait. We saw a woman by the truck huddled inside her coat as it was miserable weather. We called her over and asked if she needed a ride. She agreed and got in the truck. We asked her where she was going, and she said to the grocery. She had to get her grandbaby's food. We took her to the grocery, and my husband went in with her, offering to pay for her groceries. She went hog wild, grabbing insane amounts of expensive items. Finally, my husband told her enough. We loaded the groceries in the truck, and we took her home. My husband helped carry the groceries in. He later told me there was not a grandchild in sight and no signs of children. Long story short, she took extreme advantage of our generosity, as did the lady you described. Don't feel bad, OP. I'm sure she found another sucker. The weird comment under that is, was she black or Mexican? What is that? Like, that's a weird thing to say. Because I don't know if you've seen the homeless populations, but they're everything. They're not one thing or two things. Like, it's everything. I'm gonna have to tell about that weird comment. Okay, this is kind of weird. I sometimes feel uneasy when my husband gives me back rubs. My husband's first wife passed away after a battle with cancer 7 years ago. He and I were married in 2022, and I'm the stepmother to his daughter Ella, 15, sweet girl. She and my husband are very close, which is understandable given the trauma that they went through together. I'm very happy to have Ella in my life. However, something has been bugging me lately. I'm not sure who to tell or whether to tell anyone at all. Sometimes I feel like I'm being a weirdo about this, and I'd love honest opinions. My husband will rub Ella's back almost nightly as part of a wind-down ritual. Usually in front of the TV if we are watching something. It's kind of a soft, soothing, light rubbing. We talked about this, and I have a little story. With fingernails and fingertips. Sometimes he will rub her legs as well. How old is she? 15. As she lies next to him on the couch. I understand that it's bonding and connecting thing for them both, but the sight of him touching her like that in such a tender way, with the back of her shirt hiked up and her bare back exposed, and rubbing her legs while she's in pajama shorts, catches me off guard sometimes. She's not a little girl anymore. I feel weird typing this out. Am I making something out of nothing? My family was never affectionate, so I'm wondering if I have a skewed perspective. Sometimes I wonder if my perception is skewed or if it's real. So that's why I'm glad there's like anonymous forums too. I'm not from an affectionate family, so I've seen things before. And going back to like what I saw, like remember how I just told you guys how I just do not like that, like, real light touch? It gives me the willies. Well, there was a guy, when I used to go to this little church, there was a guy that would touch his wife's arm, and they would sit right in front of me. I would have to, even watching it was killing me. Okay, sensory issues, right? It was killing me. But sometimes he would do that to his daughter too, and it just gave me like the extra willies. And I just sit there and like the whole time just make like little circles on their back. It just, I don't know. Is my perspective skewed? I don't know. Somebody said my roommate was raised by a very good set of parents. Him and his father frequently ask for back rubs from each other. My roommate is 23. I was a bit weirded out at first, but have since come to realize that my upbringing is what made me think it was weird. Bad upbringing, terrible parents, etc. His parents have kind of welcomed me as an adopted sibling, and now I get back rubs too. They also get the benefit of me having home maintenance and mechanic skills. I show my gratitude through work. And somebody said, yes, I come from a long line of women who had husbands, whether they abused or there was abuse in the house. So I get where OP is coming from, because if I saw someone's dad do this to their 15-year-old daughter, I would immediately feel ick. I was raised by women who couldn't trust the men who were supposed to protect us. I know in normal families this is an affectionate love, and it is not. I don't care. You know what? I don't even care if it's not in nature. I think it's time to stop. I think it's time to stop. But most of the comments say it's probably nothing. But like I said, even if it's nothing, I think there's other ways we can show touch that don't involve lifting up shirts on 15-year-old girls. Massages aren't sexual by nature. I think you're reading too much into it. I mean, you can ask if you want, but I don't think it will go over well. And it will probably make them feel uncomfortable. Well, you know what? Okay. Well, we're not going to bring it up in front of the daughter, but I feel uncomfortable, so we can have a discussion. Why dance around? I feel uncomfortable. This is kind of weird to me. I understand it's not weird to you guys, but I'm here too. And can you find less nude ways? Most people say I'd kill for a back massage. It's not necessarily the back massage. It's also the leg thing. But, you know, I had a friend. We were laughing about the Hulk Hogan putting massage oil or whatever he was putting on his daughter's butt, you know? And she's like, my dad would do that. And I'm like, that's weird to me. So I'm the odd one out. Everybody says they wish their dad would give them a back rub. Yeah, a back rub. I wish anybody would give me a back rub, but there's some people I don't want to lift my shirt up or to touch my legs, like my uncles or my dads or whatever. Okay. I got mad at the gym and left with a 45-pound weight plate. I was mad at the way they handled the situation with me regarding a repair of a specific machine. I felt insulted, so one day I brought my large gym bag, walked in, went to a deep corner, and put 45-pound plate in my bag. Nothing ever came of it. I still attend that gym. Somebody said, yes, you're confessing to get the weight off your chest. Somebody said, on a serious note, revenge theft is based. I steal bar glassware if they're rude to me. F this world. Get one over on it whenever you can. Steal another plate every other week and build a home gym. Stealing the whole gym piece by piece. That's funny. I hope everything works out. How long do you think it will take to sneak the rest out? Johnny Cash did something similar with a Cadillac. Did he? Does anybody know about that? Okay. Well, that was a short one. Okay. We have my family comments about my wife's looks constantly. My wife, Sandra, 25, is from Colombia. I'm 28, male. Grew up in Omaha, Nebraska. As you might guess, she's very different from my relatives. She's very open, fun, big personality type. I'm still kind of sick, you guys. My family is more buttoned up and reserved. However, it works. They adore her and accepted her from the very beginning. Or did they? Lately, I've become aware that they really play up Sandra as kind of the sexy Latina. Commenting on her looks, her dresses, even her figure. In front of her, also when she's not around, they call her Gloria from the show Modern Family. Sofia Vergara. Just to give you an idea, it's true that she does dress in a much more flashy and sometimes revealing way than any of them. But their jokes and comments are just never ending. Sandra is very open about topics my family would never bring up. Going to nude beaches, doing boudoir photo shoots, etc. Which does contribute to this persona. To give you an idea, at the lake last summer, 3 separate people joked about how lucky I am after Sandra hung out in a bikini all day. Thanks. Okay. I don't know why this has been getting to me lately. Sandra is not bothered by any of it. She thinks it's amusing. I haven't said anything to my family, but I'm considering it. Am I overreacting? So I just thought about, like, when you're with your husband, or like you see this all the time, and other men say, wow, you're a lucky man. It is kind of weird, okay? Because essentially it means like, oh, I wish, or your wife's hot, kind of, you know? But I know it's not that deep. But you get what I'm saying. Or, you know, whatever. Should this guy say something to his family? Anything that really bothers you, I guess you should say, but you should use, like, light language to address it. Like, you guys, okay, the Gloria stuff is getting old, all right? Let's just tone it down a bit. Something like that. Okay, somebody said, it makes total sense that it bothers you. They have objectified her throughout your relationship, and it sounds like it's never going to get old to them. I wouldn't like it if my family treated my spouse that way. She is more than her look. She's a full person and a member of the family. Somebody said this behavior is sort of rude, like they are maybe a bit jealous and objectifying her with their comments, or sort of reducing her to stereotypes. It's nice that she isn't bothered, but your family's behavior is not okay. And she doesn't have to be bothered for the husband to be bothered. Okay, somebody said, in quotes, like, as in this is what you could say, hey, I know she's attractive, but can you keep your comments about my wife to yourself? If they're more reserved, that might be enough to embarrass them a bit into thinking before speaking. Somebody said, if it does not bother your wife, it's not a problem. Personally, if I went to a family gathering in a bikini, they are the only type that fit my body, and found out multiple people were objectifying me and making comments, it would make me feel grossed out and not want to return. It does not matter what your wife wears. The issue is that your family is objectifying regular attire. If you have a daughter, will they objectify her once she's out of diapers? If it bothers you when they comment, just ask loudly why they are objectifying your wife. Let's not. Let's just not jump right to that, okay? Why are they staring at your wife's breasts? Are her clothes not covering what is necessary? It's rude to stare. It's rude to comment. They're basic manners. Okay. Well, like I said, I think there's a gentle approach to this. Like, they probably think they're being funny. And that sucks when your family thinks they're being funny. But, like, it was funny maybe, like, one time, and now you guys are just obsessed and beating, like, this non-funny joke to the ground. Can you get some new material? Thank you. do one more. I met my soulmate while I was out shopping for my wedding. A few years ago, I was engaged to someone I thought I'd be spending the rest of my life with. Let's call him Marcus. We had been together for over a year in a very serious relationship, and both of us knew we wanted to get married. It wasn't really a surprise when he popped the question. Of course, I said yes. Thus began a long road of wedding planning, and I got to work right away. Immediately, I went out, started buying flowers, decorations, picking a dress, all the typical things. I asked for Marcus to help plan and give his opinion, but he kept insisting this is a woman's job. The wedding planning is the woman's job. So I did. The day comes that I finally decide to pick out what my fiancé and his groomsmen will be wearing. You couldn't even do that. I make the trip to our local men's warehouse to look at the selection of suits. When I get there, I'm greeted by one of the most handsome men I've ever seen. Well, not conventionally handsome. He was tall and so thin it was shocking. In a striped suit with large glasses and a mustache that curled at the tips. It might seem shallow to mention his looks, but he literally was my type that people had teased me about my entire life. My family are all farmers, and always made fun of me for liking nerds. He quickly introduced himself as Sterling and asked if he could be of any assistance. So I told him about my wedding, and he showed me what he had to offer. He confidently told me that he'd helped with hundreds of weddings and fitted thousands of suits, and true to his word, he helped pick out the perfect ensemble. We chatted a bit about the theme I wanted, colors, etc. It turns out we both loved vintage style, had a lot of similar interests. I left the store very pleased to have gotten the perfect suits, ordered, and called my fiancé to tell him the good news. Fast forward a few months, and somewhere in the midst of all the planning, Marcus had been acting strange. He had been arguing with me nonstop over everything, getting upset when I wanted to spend time with my family, going through my phone when I slept. And on occasion, he even refused to give me my own car keys so that I could go home. It wasn't long before I found out that he was cheating on me. Of course. Of course. That's why he was going through your phone. To catch himself cheating. Cheating on me with one of my friends, and they had been texting back and forth for a few weeks and had met up already. I was utterly devastated and thankfully had the mind to break things off for good. Losing Marcus hurt. No, having Marcus hurt. But being betrayed by my friend felt like a gut punch. A few more months went by, and the loneliness and anger had definitely set in. I wanted someone to talk to. I decided, what the heck, and downloaded Tinder on a whim. I had literally only been using the app for about an hour when a familiar face popped up. Yep, Sterling. I literally never forget reading Oxford Dictionary in the streets, Urban Dictionary in the sheets. On his profile, corny? Yes. Did I laugh? Yes. I swiped right, and to my surprise, he had done the same. Oh, I just got a little chills. This is cute. So cute. From there, we exchanged numbers and spent nearly 6 hours talking on the phone that night. I met up just a few short days later. Sterling was definitely surprised when I told him what happened with Marcus, but he was incredibly sympathetic and respectful. We hit it off right away, and when I was ready, we started dating. We've been inseparable ever since, and now we are married with our 3-month-old baby girl laying next to me. As I type this, I'm gonna cry. I'm happier than I ever imagined possible, and although our story is a little different, I believe I truly found my soulmate. You guys, stop it. I'm not even into romance. That should be a book. She needs to sell this story to, like, a writer. Your story isn't sterling, it's gold. Somebody said stop. I love this for you all. Such a pleasant read. I think the universe wanted you to both meet. This had to be fate. You were with the wrong man, and the universe put it